So, good afternoon. Um, one day late, but better late than never, I guess. We had a fabulous week. Round of garden or wild gather and garden planting workshops, and we had a blast. We had a day out at Yankee Flats. We had a bit of a break, and we had a day out at the Paradise Point Garden. And in a couple of weeks' time, on the 15th of May, we're going to be at Fortune Creek at Sherry Roy's house. So, yeah, if you're at all interested, we've got Tara out at um, Yankee Flats at her place. And we've got Michael Turner and Tyson Bannigan hosting at Paradise Point. And yeah, we have Sherry Roy out in the Armstrong area at Fortune Creek. And we get together in a small group and we look what's going on in the woods and we look at what's going on in the yards and we look what's coming up in the gardens and what we can do about that. So we had an absolutely fabulous time. Unfortunately, yesterday at the garden out at Paradise Point, we started running into enough technical glitches that we weren't able to do the show, but we're back. So, what we've got happening this week is today, all day, we're going to be in Gemini. Now, the moon just went new. We had that really magical alignment of the moon coming new, Beltane, 1st of May on our calendar, coinciding with lunar Beltane, which is the first day of that new moon. And then we topped it all off with a solar eclipse, and then we zoomed forward. And if you're noticing that things are moving a little bit better than they were in the last couple of months, yeah, things are indeed coming into alignment. If you get up around dawn and look to the east for yet another week or so, you should still be able to see the alignment of Venus and Jupiter and Saturn. They're all kind of all in a nice, neat little row. If you've got binoculars or a decent little telescope, you can see so much more. But, it's a fairly magical time of the year. So, with the moon being new and it being in Gemini all day today, you're good for planting your flower things. And keep in mind that Gemini is the best of all the planting signs when it comes to picking when to plant your cucumbers and when to plant your melons. So if you can get them into the ground today, fabulous. If not, you've still got time tomorrow because tomorrow we start the day in Gemini. So those planting windows are still absolutely wide open. At 1:37 in the afternoon, we go. Of course, you can continue doing the same activities. It's not great to start something while void, of course, but certainly a continuation is well within the parameters. And then at 4 o'clock, little after 4 in the afternoon, we're going to move into Cancer. And Cancer is one of those universal planting symbols, planting windows. It is fabulous. Okay. It is a water sign. You've got tons of fertility. The moon is still in Taurus. So you've got that grounded energy of Taurus. You've got all the growth energy of the Cancer water sign. And there is not very many things that you would not be able to plant over the next couple of days. So Wednesday afternoon and into the evening, fabulous anything energy that continues right on through Thursday, where again we have a completely unbroken day of Cancer, and magically we get the exact same day of unbroken planting energy on Friday as well. We have this nice, perfectly situated window in Cancer. So then early Saturday morning, about 3:30 in the morning, the moon's going to go void, of course, and it's going to stay void all that Saturday morning. And it's not actually going to slide into Leo until about 10 to 5 in the evening, or 20 to 5 in the evening. So you've got an incredible day on Saturday, which is a really, really, really long void of course period for you to get through. Um, According to the astrological signs and that, planting is still indicated. We are still in Cancer. That is still possible. But void, of course, is one of those anything can happen kind of things. So don't plan too heavily what you can do on Saturday. Definitely set the intention in that, but be prepared for things to not quite come about as the way you might envision them once the moon goes void. On Sunday, we've moved into Leo late Saturday afternoon, and on Sunday we're in an unbroken state in Leo. Now, Leo's a fire sign. You're going to have a little bit more of narrowing of your planting windows, especially to do with the change of the moon phase, because on Sunday we slide into that second quarter. So, the sun is still in Taurus, or just barely beginning into that second quarter of the moon. As long as you keep yourself focused on planting fruit bearing plants, so get the last of those berry bushes in the ground, anything that you've got going in the fruiting department, make sure you get it in during that window. And because of the time of year, the dryness of the year, and the fact that you're doing this in a fire sign, don't neglect the watering schedule. That's going to be uh, absolutely crucial for those to take root and do well. So I don't know what it's like exactly where you are, but here in central BC, we're beginning to feel like we might finally have hit spring. We finally got, some decent weather at temperatures at night, and we got some real sun happening out there. I personally would hope for a whole lot more rain than we've been getting in the last couple of weeks. It's been cold, but we haven't, since it stopped snowing, we really haven't been experiencing much in the precipitation department. So, more rain would indeed be good. We got a few cool things coming up. Like I mentioned earlier, we've got a catch-up workshop happening in the middle of the month on the 15th at Sherry's place for people who are interested in coming for a walk in the woods with us. We have a fabulous time. We spent about 5 hours together, and we spend the first little bit of that out and about and seeing what there is to gather, and discussing the plants as we look at them in their native habitat, and see what we can do with them, and what's appropriate to gather right where it is in the time period. Then we take a bit of a break and usually sit down and eat, because that's always a good idea to have a little bit of a bite together, and some sharing time. And then we come back after that and prepare things for us to take home with what we've gathered. So this last time we really focused on the teas that you can make in the springtime. Next month we'll be continuing that process and taking a look at a lot more of the edible food offerings. I think the only other than greens and a few little things that we could gather in that department, the only thing that we got from our really hefty plant once, harvest forever, was when we hit the asparagus bed and were able to help ourselves to some of the lovely spring offerings. But next month we should be getting into some of the early berries, some of the early fruits that come on, and a lot more of those things that are popping up out of the ground, inviting us to come and eat them at this time of year when they're young and tender. Um, I think that's about that for this week. We don't have a lot to cover, and it's a little bit shortened just due to the fact that we didn't have to cover as many days. And, but I hope you can all connect with us next week. And next week we should be going at the proper time on the Monday, and we'll be going at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So get out there and enjoy the sunshine. Quit staring at the screen. Go work in your garden. The plants are calling you, and so are the fairies. See you all next week.